Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 120 based on novel. So let's start. Foam Dew. Xiao Yan stared at the two flames in front of him and couldn't help but said. The two flames in front of Xiao Yan at this time, one is a new flame formed by the fusion of its 23 different colors, and the other is a khaki yellow fire that exudes a barren aura. Rock Saint Flame. The power of this holy flame is really terrifying. He muttered and waved the khaki yellow fire-hearted Tianyang power in his body, and the surrounding space suddenly collapsed. Xiao Yang said with satisfaction immediately. Although I don't know the mysterious reason of the Doqi Sea, since the holy flame crystal is safe and sound in the Doqi Sea, then I can rest assured. Xiao Yang carefully sensed the inside of the body, and suddenly the outermost layer of the flame beast's body, surprisingly, it was enveloped by its khaki yellow holy flame, and 23 kinds of different fires kept shaking in its body. The fierce flame beast has a body of hundreds of feet, and the beast's eyes are staring at the holy flame crystal. The refining of Huaxin Tianyang has ended. Next, it's time to blossom and bear fruit. The next moment, Xiao Yang's face immediately burst into laughter, and as time passed, it turned into a wild laughter. The engulfing process of this fire heart Tianyang was beyond the dangerous level predicted by Xiao Yang, and even after swallowing the holy flame into the body, forced it into the sea of fighting qi, and then refining it was extremely smooth. Although Xiao Yang couldn't say the reason, he wanted to have an inescapable relationship with the person named Xiao Mu. But at this time, Xiao Yang couldn't care so much. Xiao Yang's mad laughing voice kept roaring in this void, slowly and steadily. Let's get started. Seeing Xiao Yang's wild laughter, Long Yi's figure slowly emerged from the ancient ruler of eternal fire, and he said to Xiao Yang contentedly. When he just swallowed the holy flame and refined it, Long Yi's perseverance towards Xiao Yang was also in his heart. After slightly adjusting his breath, Xiao Yang said slowly. For the holy flame, swallowing the holy flame is the first step, and it is also the most tormenting. If you are a little careless, you may fall directly. Furthermore, it is to refine the holy flame. Only by refining the holy flame can you gradually master the power of the holy flame. The last is to introduce the power of holy flame into the burning decision, so as to complete the swallowing of holy flames. I don't know what the power of this holy flame is. Xiao Yang slowly drew the fireheart Tianyang, which was dazzling to the limit, exuding the flames of desolation and destruction in front of him, and took a deep breath. Regarding the swallowing of Shenyang, although Xiao Yang has succeeded now, there is still the last step left, and Xiao Yang is quite looking forward to this. In the past in Doqi continent, every time he devoured a different fire, it brought a skyrocketing strength and the evolution of burning determination, but he didn't know what this holy flame was like. Don't worry, this holy flame is stronger than the new flames that I have fused with 23 different fires. If you think about it, you won't let me down. Gritting his teeth, Xiao Yang ignored the 3721, and immediately closed the door. Eyes, mobilize the burning decision in the body. Boom boom boom. Just as Xiao Yang mobilized Fenju, the Fenju technique hidden in the deepest part of Xiao Yang's body suddenly started to swim uncontrollably. Xiao Yang was not surprised by this, because this was the symptom of devouring the strange fire every time, so Xiao Yang did not panic at all, and guided the fireheart Tianyang holy flame towards Fenju. Boom boom boom. The power of the holy flame and Fenju just touched, and suddenly a terrifying suction force emanated from Fenju, which directly swallowed the source of the fireheart Tianyang holy flame. The sound made is very shocking in this entire void. In the next moment, Xiao Yang's mind radiated an extremely terrifying wave. The fluctuating color was khaki, centered on Xiao Yang's forehead, and suddenly spread out everywhere. Damn it! Xiao Yang gritted his teeth, his eyes were bloodshot, and the rubbing sound from clenching his teeth was extremely harsh. Ah! A scream resounded in the void. If you want to gain enough strength, it's really. Long Yi's eyelids can't help but jump. Just looking at Xiao Yang's appearance is so cruel. You can imagine, if it were himself, I'm afraid he would have already given up. I can't fall down. There are still so many things to do. In his mind, the rapidly expanding volume of Fenju because of the holy flames he swallowed continuously impacted every part of Xiao Yang's body, and every time he hit, there was Xiao Yang's heart-piercing voice. But Xiao Yang gritted his teeth so that he wouldn't let himself make other sound. But such a terrifying impact, although the heart is like a knife, but after each impact, it brings a lot of benefits to Xiao Yang. The most obvious is that Xiao Yang's body strength is slowly increasing, and even Xiao Yang's breath is soaring rapidly. What's the situation? The next moment, Long Yi, whose sympathy had not yet disappeared, suddenly noticed that Xiao Yang's breath in front of Dao was soaring. Although I have never seen humans devour holy flames, it seems that swallowing holy flames doesn't seem to be such a weird thing to improve strength. What's the secret of this kid? A voice of doubt kept circling in Long Yi's heart. The middle stage of the 5-star Do D. 5-star Do Emperor late stage. It's time to break through the 5-star Do D. 6-star Do D. The middle stage of the 6-star Do D. It's not over yet. The late 6-star fighting emperor? In the void, Long Yi's shocking voice sounded like thunder. What's the matter with this kid? How did he break through so many levels in a short period of time? Long Yi said, rather ashamed. Because he actually witnessed Xiao Yang's improved strength in such a short period of time as if he were flying on a plane. You must know that the promotion from the early stage of the 5-star Do Emperor to the early stage of the 6-star Do Emperor, although this is only a rank, but the energy and time required in it, even if it is a real Avile door, is definitely decades. Break through the time between breaths. And it's not the 6-star Do D but the late 6-star Do D? This is a full promotion to about 2 ranks. With such a terrifying promotion level, even Long Yi, who has a rather arrogant vision, is faintly moved. This makes Long Yi, a 1,000-year-old monster who has cultivated, have the urge to hit him to death. Could it be because of Sheng Yang and the exercises he practiced? Long Yi was not stupid, and after a brief hesitation, he discovered the secret. However, Long Yi's doubts were not over yet. When he noticed that Xiao Yang was outside his body, the strange fire square instantly shrouded him, and then the only flame group left in front of Xiao Yang exuding 23 colors of strange fire was suddenly scattered, and then sorted directly on the different fire square. What's the situation? Long Yi seemed to be puzzled by the second monk. Staring at the strange fire square, there were about 23 flame pillars, and above each fire pillar, different colors and strengths of different fires were slowly burning, and then they respectfully surrendered to Xiao Yang. What? This kid actually entered the meditation. It seems that the soul force has entered other places. Long Yi saw Xiao Yang's delay in waking up, and immediately noticed Xiao Yang's abnormality. In the empty space, there is no time, no life, and nothing, just a very desolate atmosphere. Where is this? A figure who was inconspicuous compared to this empty space slowly appeared, and then said to himself. The person who came was Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang was also quite helpless about this. It was clear that he was in the process of evolving Fen Ju, and the moment he felt that the Fen Ju evolution in his body had succeeded, the strength in Xiao Yang's body had soared, and in a short period of time, it had soared to the level of the late 6-star Do Emperor. However, Xiao Yang came to this unfamiliar place before he could investigate the evolutionary level of Fen Ju in his body and understand the state of his body. Haha, after so many years, has my Xiao clan really had a descendant? A desolate voice slowly echoed between this world. Who? Xiao Yang was shocked when he heard this. I am now the power of the soul. If I am not careful, I am afraid that it will cause irreparable damage to its origin. This desolate voice just sounded, and Xiao Yang suddenly felt a boundless feeling like the ocean. Hey, don't panic, this is the holy flame space. An easygoing voice sounded slowly. Wasn't it the fire heart Tianyang sacred flame who had been swallowed by Xiao Yang? Huaxin Tianyang, after Xinyan was swallowed and refined by Xiao Yang, he turned into a young man and followed Xiao Yang. I just said how comfortable it is for this kid to devour me. I didn't expect you to be in the way. Xinyan's voice with a questioning tone went straight to the void in all directions. Xinyan, you haven't changed after all these years. A desolate voice appeared, and then it turned into a thin figure. At first glance, the lean figure can tell that it is a trace of soul power, but above that lean body, there is a terrifying power that destroys the world. Xiao Mu, you old fellow. Xinyan's body trembled instantly, and then let out a roar. At that time, it was not my wish. If you want to know, you can find me in the future to know the truth of the matter. The figure who was roared by Huaxin Tianyang spoke slowly and plainly. Aren't you dead? The next moment, Huaxin Tianyang's pupils shrank tightly, as if he realized something. Die? How could I, the 12 tigers of the Xiao family, fall so easily? A plain voice gave Xiao Yang a lot of shock. Okay. Xiao Mu, you wait, the next time I find you, it will be. Xinyan said viciously. Hey, since your question has been resolved, then it's up to me and this kid, you should go out. Xiao Mu said, and waved it casually, without giving Xinyan any time to hesitate. Immediately, the Huaxin Tianyang slightly out of the holy flame space and appeared beside Long Yi outside. Bastard. Seeing this, Huaxin Tianyang couldn't help but curse it secretly. It has been thousands of years since he was out of Xiao Mu's control. He never imagined that Xiao Mu still has some control over him now. This should be the holy flame fire spirit. Seeing this, Long Yi did not have any fear. After all, the current strength of Huaxin Tianyang is not as strong as that of a half-immortal, so Long Yi is not afraid. Senior. Xiao Yang saw that Huaxin Tianyang had no room for resistance, and was swept away by Xiao Mu, and he couldn't help feeling a little cold. The senior named Xiao Mu in front of him is definitely a ruthless man. Hihi, boy, tell me about the situation on the Doqi continent. Xiao Mu easily came to Xiao Yang's side. Looking at the mysterious Xiao Mu, who came and went without a trace, Xiao Yang's heart sank. He had no other plans, but told some things on the Doqi continent. Because Xiao Yang clearly felt a familiar smell on Xiao Mu's body, it is the smell of blood. Such fluctuations are enough to show that the old man in front of him is a member of their Xiao clan. Actually, the reason why the Do-Di bloodline of the Xiao clan on the Doqi continent was interrupted halfway, we have an unshirkable responsibility. Xiao Mu heard Xiao Yang's words, although his heart was very calm, but he knew in his heart that the sudden fall of Do-Di's bloodline almost brought destruction to the Xiao clan on the Doqi continent. Ancestor? Xiao Yang asked tentatively, looking at Xiao Mu who was caught in the memory before him. Oh, these things, I'll tell you when you become stronger. Otherwise, you are still too weak now. Xiao Mu's eyes filled with endless emptiness stared at Xiao Yang for a long time before he opened his mouth. Is he a strong man in the human world? Xiao Yang asked a little unwillingly. You're pretty smart, you know what to say to me, but these things aren't something you should think about. Your next goal is to reach Dozian first. Only when you reach Dozian, you are qualified to obtain some things. You only need to know some things. After all, we don't want to involve innocent people in this battle. Xiao Mu hurriedly coughed a few times. The ancestors left a trace of soul power here, so there must be something wrong. Xiao Yang did not stop on the previous topic. From the words of his master Jin Longwang and Xiao Mu, although he vaguely guessed, the disappearance of Xiao Yang must have something to do with the human world, but Xiao Yang is still too weak at the moment. Even if their strength now relies on swallowing holy flames to reach the late stage of the 6-star Do Emperor, it is not enough for them. No, you are wrong. The reason why I left a trace of my soul here is to save the day when people from my Xiao clan devoured this Fireheart Tianyang. Xiao Mu pretended to be profound. Ancestor actually had the terrifying power of a prophet. Xiao Yang's pupils shrank tightly as he said incredulously, Hehe, there are many things in the universe, and many things are unclear. Since you have successfully devoured Xinyan, then my soul power should also disappear. After all, this trace of soul power is just the power that I left behind when I controlled the Fire Heart Tianyang, and after helping you devour the holy flame, there is not much left. Xiao Mu smiled slowly. This place is called the Holy Flame Space. It is a separate space. Anyone under Dozian will be suppressed here. You only need to communicate with Xinyan, and you can bring people here. The Holy Flame Space is like a barrier. Once others enter it, it is extremely difficult to get out. This can also be used as a trump card for you. Don't use it as a last resort, otherwise such a terrifying alien dimension will bring you a calamity. I hope that when we meet next time, your kid can really grow up. The voice fell, and Xiao Mu in front of Xiao Yang instantly turned into stars and disappeared in this holy flame space. Respectfully send the ancestors off. Xiao Yang bowed respectfully and said. With the disappearance of all Xiao Mu's breath, Xiao Yang sat down and carefully comprehended this sacred flame space. This kid, why haven't you come out yet? Outside Xiao Yang's body, Long Yi and Xinyan both stared at Xiao Yang suspiciously. Several days have passed since Xiao Yang successfully entered the meditation after swallowing the refining holy flame. Why is he still not awake? Just when the two were puzzled, Xiao Yang's pupils suddenly opened. It's been a long time. A long-lost voice carried the desolate aura of Saint Flame throughout the void. Are you all right? Long Yi hurriedly asked when Xiao Yang opened his eyes. Haha, Elder Long, I'm fine. Xiao Yang said calmly. There seems to be something in your body. The understated voice gave Long Yi a shock. It's just a fusion of holy flame, and it controls a different dimension. Xiao Yang smiled slowly. What? Have you mastered a different dimension? Long Yi opened his eyes wide with an unbelievable look. The so-called different space is a space that is used alone, and there are many terrifying places in this space. Moreover, there is a saying that is often circulated in the thousands of world. Different space is the prototype of the realm. The powerhouses who own the realm basically have the strength of fighting immortals. As for the powerhouses with different dimensions, the number is too rare. According to Long Yi's knowledge, the powerhouses with different dimensions have at least the strength to reach the peak of Dodi. Because of having a different dimension, once you fight, you will drag the enemy into the different dimension that you control. With the increase of one and the other, the effect of the domain is exactly the same. Hey, boy, don't think that Xiao Mu is your ancestor and then be unscrupulous. If you direct this emperor to do something that violates morality, this emperor will be the first to blow himself up. On Xinyan's delicate face, a trace emerged. Doubt means, oh, it's natural. This time, it is thanks to the ancestor Xiao Mu that I devoured the holy flame. Otherwise, it would have been quite a burden for me. Xiao Yang finished speaking, and suddenly stared at Xinyan and laughed. Hey, I'm warning you, what are you doing? Xinyan was still a young man after all, and being stared at by Xiao Yang so maliciously, she felt a little chill in her heart, and a bad feeling arose. In my body now, I already have 23 kinds of different fires and the power of your holy flame. Why is the burning decision in my body still not satisfied, and I feel faintly uneasy? Xiao Yang checked his body doubtfully. Fengju? As if hearing something fatally attractive, a frenzy suddenly appeared on Xinyan's face. Seeing the sudden appearance of Xinyan, Xiao Yang felt bad in his heart. Fengju should not have been mentioned just now. After all, this thing holds a pivotal position in both Dochi continent and Dodi continent. Boy, what are you talking about is the magical technique that evolves by swallowing flames, Fengju? In Xinyan's eyes, a flash of enthusiasm flashed, staring at Xiao Yang. I'll just say, how could you have so many disorganized flames on your body at the same time? If it were an ordinary person, I'm afraid you'd be directly exploded and killed. It really is the reason of Fengju. Xinyang was quite excited and hugged Xiao Yang's arm directly. What are you doing? Xiao Yang was a little sluggish at the sudden scene of Xinyan, and immediately shouted angrily. Don't worry, master, first look at what level the Fengju in your body is now. Xinyan smiled slowly at Xiao Yang, but her eyes were turning quickly, as if thinking about something. What exactly is this holy flame spirit doing? It's faster to change your face than to turn a book. You just had a high-level attitude. How could you become like this when you heard Fengju? Forget it, let's take a look at Fengju first. After all, just after swallowing and refining the holy flame, although the power of the holy flame was integrated into Fengju, it only has a skyrocketing strength. As for how far this Fengju has reached, I'm really looking forward to it. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he was instantly at peace, his eyes were closed, and he went to the place where Fengju was in the deepest part of his body. Boom boom boom. Just as Xiao Yang controlled his mind and entered his mind, trying to probe the Fengju, an ancient aura suddenly spread out from Xiao Yang's body. That breath, the most powerful and ancient, the supreme in the world alone. This breath, it really is Fengju. Since this is the case, then I will take a gamble and help this kid with all my heart. As for the other holy flames, I will plunder your power sooner or later. By that time, the top 10 guys on the sacred flame list will also. Xinyan said calmly. Senior immortal rank. Xiao Yang briefly probed for a few minutes, then was overjoyed. Although the power contained in this holy flame is extremely terrifying, Xiao Yang's strength has skyrocketed to the late stage of the 6-star Do Emperor. As for the cultivation technique, even if it is to break through the middle stage of the immortal rank, it is very good. Immortal rank advanced, this is far beyond Xiao Yang's imagination. Fengju is divided into 6 realms. The current Fengju, I am afraid, has already stepped into the first realm. Burn the foundation, Xiao Yang said to himself. Xiao Yang had felt before that the burning dew in his body, although the potential was extremely terrifying, only recorded Do DS previous cultivation, and as for Do DS cultivation, there was no mention of it. However, when he first came to Do D continent, he happened to save the Golden Dragon King, thus perfecting his own burning dew. Ever since he perfected the Fengju, Xiao Yang's Fengju has always been at the low level of the immortal rank. Every time he fights with the enemy, his fighting spirit is far less powerful than the enemy, but now Xiao Yang is a little more confident. Just this advanced immortal rank exercise is not weaker than some immortal rank peak exercises, and it may even be more powerful than the holy rank. If Xiao Yang's low-level immortal level exercises before could allow Xiao Yang to use the Lotus of Destruction once, now the high-level immortal level exercises are enough to support Xiao Yang using it 3 times. This is the benefit brought by the exercises. Okay, master. This Fengju, as far as I know, is not comparable to any immortal rank and holy rank, because it seems to have only a few realms, and the only thing needed to step into each realm is holy flame. So Master, for your peak, you can only devour the holy flame constantly. And among all our holy flames, there are some open and secret struggles just like humans. Even if it's me, I would like to draw their source power from the top-ranked holy flames, so as to strengthen myself. So Master. Xinyan looked at Xiao Yang with fiery eyes. The meaning of what she said was obvious. Is this the reason why you surrendered to me? Xiao Yang turned around and smiled at Xinyan. I will assist you wholeheartedly, but as a price, when you are devouring the holy flame, you must give me some other holy flame power. Xinyan said quite hotly here. I didn't expect you to have such courage. Then hand over the control of your holy flame space. Xiao Yang said with a smile. Just now in the holy flame space, no matter how hard Xiao Yang tried, he could never control the holy flame space, as if there was something blocking Xiao Yang. Take it. Xinyan also knew how mysterious Xiao Yang's cultivation technique was, and immediately bit his teeth. A burst of flames poured into Xiao Yang's mind. With the influx of this flame, Xiao Yang suddenly felt that the exclusion of himself from the holy flame space had completely disappeared. Xinyan, what I promised you will naturally be fulfilled in the future. Xiao Yang smiled heartily. Burning Dew. Back then, that guy Xiao Mu didn't practice the best exercises in the world, and he devoured 2 holy flames abruptly. This kid who practices Fen Ju will probably surpass him in future achievements. I'm really looking forward to it. After Xinyan finished speaking, she seemed to have made a decision, and her attitude towards Xiao Yang became quite friendly. It's just that none of the 3 of them noticed that in an inconspicuous corner at the bottom of the void, a drop of blood was slowly lurking, and an extremely evil eye appeared. It's actually Huaxin Tianyang. The power of a clone should be enough to destroy it. After the bleak voice finished speaking, some evil aura suddenly emerged. That aura seemed to be exactly the same as the previous Gorefiend left guard, even more powerful. In the void where Xiao Yang was, the blood at the bottom was left behind by the left guard of the Gorefiend. At this time, the blood slowly surrounded a circle of black gas, extremely evil, exuding an extremely powerful evil force, and then tightly surrounded the space where Xiao Yang and the others were. It's just that his method was extremely concealed and escaped the perception of Xiao Yang and the others. In the void, the heart rock wrapped by the different fire plaza, Long Yi admired Xiao Yang's burning determination. Both of them were mainly fire attributes, so no other visions were found. As for Xiao Yang, it is adjusting the breath of the sacred flame space in the body, and in addition, the power of the different fire and the power of the sacred flame must be maintained in a balance, so I did not pay attention to the outside. Xiao Yang didn't know why. Although he tried many times, he found that the power between the different fire and the holy flame could not be merged. Every time the two just touched, an extremely terrifying power would erupt. That's why Xiao Yang temporarily put down the idea of fusion. As for the difference between the different fire and the holy flame, there seems to be something missing. At this time, Xiao Yang didn't bother to ask Xinyan, so he had to quickly grasp the skyrocketing strength and the power of the holy flame. As for the other, tell you later. Hoo. It should be possible to leave now. 3 days passed by minute, Xiao Yang finally took back his last breath and stood up and said, in just a few days, you have mastered the holy flame space, and you are the first person to master my holy flame power to such an extent. As for that blood demon golden energy, I've already suppressed it for you temporarily. Even I can't do anything about the evil level of this thing. I can only wait for it to be completely eliminated in the future. Xinyan said with praise. Unexpectedly, this kid was actually corroded by the blood demon golden energy, which was something Xinyan never expected. However, although the blood demon gold energy is extremely terrifying, it has the existence of holy flames. If you want to easily erode Xiao Yang's mind, it will be a fool's dream. Well, that's the only way. Xiao Yang responded. After all, if this blood demon golden energy is not resolved now, it will be a scourge sooner or later if it remains on here. Xinyan's state at this time is similar to that of Xiaoyi. Both of them are the spirit of flame, but the difference is that Xiaoyi was born because Xiao Yang fused 23 kinds of different fires in his body and evolved into a fire spirit. His strength will increase along with his growth, while the spirit of holy flame is suppressed by Xiao Yang's power. Xinyan's strength, which is at the peak of the Do Emperor, is suppressed only by the 7-star Do Emperor consummation. However, one thing is certain is that this heart rock has an inseparable relationship with the holy flame in Xiao Yang's body. Let's go. It took a lot of time to devour the holy flame, but you don't know what's going on outside. And before that sect competition, there seems to be some other interesting things. Xiao Yang waved his sleeve slowly, and suddenly an extremely hot khaki holy flame swept out, instantly facing the side of the void. Such a feeling was evolved from Fenju's devouring the holy flame. Since we are leaving, and since this desert mountain range has submerged into the sand sea, then this place should no longer exist. Xiao Yang was about to start, but he found something. Xiao Yang knew the terrifying holy flame power in his hands. Although this holy flame power was only ranked 35th, its single power was much better than Xiao Yang's combination of 23 kinds of different flames. The flames are too powerful. What's going on? Long Yi seemed to have noticed something abnormal and said to Xiao Yang, "Looks like we've all forgotten something." Xiao Yang slowly put away the Yihua square, then held the Yihua Heng ancient ruler in the palm of his hand, staring fiercely at the bloodstain on his chest. "I saw that. I don't know why. The bloodstained body has been banned by Xinyan with a khaki yellow holy flame, but the blood demon gold energy at this time seems to be alive, struggling hard. This Gorfian's golden energy?" Xinyan suddenly made a surprised voice on the side. Born as a holy flame, he was extremely sensitive to this kind of evil. Wait, this feeling. There are also evil tribes outside the territory. The next moment, Xinyan stared at the bloodstain on Xiao Yang's chest that suddenly trembled, and suddenly spoke up. Because Xinyan is quite clear about his own means, if only relying on this blood demon golden energy is not enough to make the seal set by himself look like this, then there is only one explanation. There are also aliens here. Its strength is stronger than that of the Gorfiend left guard. Following the opening of Xinyan, Xiao Yang's eyes stared directly at the place in front of him where the power of the holy flame rush. "Come out," Xiao Yang said to the pitch-black void beside him with a calm expression. "What a brave boy." A gentle voice came from all directions. Although the voice is gentle, the arrogant evil spirit in the voice is not concealed. "This is Blood Demon?" Xinyan's face was extremely ugly. Hearing this voice, even he who was born as a holy flame couldn't help but feel terrified. "It's not a blood demon, it should be an energy clone," Xiao Yang said plainly. The hugeness of his soul allowed Xiao Yang to always find something different from ordinary people. On Xiao Yang's body, the power of the khaki holy flame and as many as 23 kinds of different fires instantly emerged, surrounding Xiao Yang. As expected of a human who can devour holy flames. "But today, you don't seem to be able to leave." A chuckle slowly descended, and then, at the edge of the void where Xiao Yang and the others were, an extremely evil black aura appeared instantly. Blood demon energy. It's still golden. As expected, he is the true king of the Gorfians. Xiao Yang smiled slowly, but he didn't feel any flinch. If it was before swallowing the holy flame, Xiao Yang might be afraid, but now it is different. With holy flame, plus the strength to reach the late 6-star fighting emperor, Xiao Yang has confidence. Surrounded by this blood demon envoy, retreat is not difficult. But at this time, Xiao Yang had no choice. "If you don't fight, you're probably going to die." Heart Rock. Long Yi. Although Xiao Yang didn't know the strength of this Gorfian's clone, he had to buy time, otherwise once the Gorfiend used some terrifying means, it would be impossible to escape. "Okay." Xinyan and Long Yi exchanged glances at Xiao Yang. They immediately understood the seriousness of the matter, and without hesitation, their figures exploded directly, and their body was full of vindictive energy. "He really is a brave boy." After the Gorfiend finished speaking, the illusory figure rushed towards Xiao Yang. The terrifying evil aura suppressed Xiao Yang's strength, and even gave Xiao Yang the Gorfiend gold chi brings real change. "Do it." Seeing this, Xiao Yang didn't hesitate immediately. His whole body exploded, and the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand flashed an unusually dazzling light, attacking the blood demon emissary coming towards him. 7th layer breaking the sky ruler. The first weight. 2nd level. The 3rd level. The majestic voice echoed in this void, and then Xiao Yang held the ancient ruler of eternal fire with both hands, and slashed directly at the black chi that was blowing in his face. "It's too much." Gorfian's black chi energy avatar said something casually, and then condensed a finger to easily resist Xiao Yang's offensive. "Although I'm just an energy clone, if you only have this strength, you would still fall here today." A voice of disdain emanated from the Gorfian's clone instantly. With the appearance of this voice, the place where the void is located is under the desert. The void collapsed instantly, and countless dust and sand spread from above. Boom boom boom. The terrifying fluctuations dissipated in an instant. Xiao Yang's strange fire constant ancient ruler was uncontrollably and directly let go. As for the energy clone of the blood demon, although Xiao Yang's 3-foot combo momentum gave him, he was quite frightened, but in the final analysis, he was the energy clone of the gore fiend, and he was much stronger than Xiao Yang in the later stage of the 6-star Do Di. Why does this human body seem to have other powers besides the holy flame? Above the blood demon's energy clone, the black energy was faintly eroded by Xiao Yang's holy flame. However, what surprised the Gorfian's energy clone the most was the power of the strange fire in Xiao Yang's body, and the attack generated by attaching to the ancient ruler of the strange fire was also extremely terrifying. As expected of the true king of the Gorfians, Xiao Yang looked at the shattered void beside him, and slightly wiped the bloodstain on the corner of his mouth due to the suppression of the Gorfian's energy clone. Now the power of holy flame and the power of different fire in the body cannot be merged. Although this Gorfiend clone is just a clone from the previous fight, it is not something that any of us can resist. It seems that we can only use the help of the power of the two of them. Long Yi, Xinyan, give me your strength. As if he had made up his mind, Xiao Yang and Xinyan and Long Yi said in his heart at the same time. You are. Xinyan and Long Yi were quite puzzled by Xiao Yang's actions, but seeing the solemnity on Xiao Yang's face, coupled with the power of the Gorfian's energy clone, they felt Xiao Yang's Yang Ju was surging rapidly in his body, his teeth clenched, and the strength of the two of them directly irrigated here. Gorfiend, let you know how powerful it is. A frantic laughter spread across the shattered void with flames all over the sky. The flames spread out, not only with different fires, but also with the power of the Fire Heart Qianyang Holy Flame, which is extremely tyrannical to suppress the evil race outside the territory. For a time, the temperature of this space rose sharply, and the barren aura above the holy flames instantly emerged, making the blood demon energy clone not only the pressure greatly increase. After all, the strength has reached the level of Gorfiend, and it is impossible to easily come to Duty Continent, so only one clone can be projected, but the gap between the strength of this clone and the main body is huge. Oh, what is this human doing? There are so many flames in the body, aren't you afraid of exploding and dying? Gorfian's energy clone said slowly. Well, even if there is a holy flame in front of me, it's just an ant, just to see what this kid wants to do. If possible, this kid can be regarded as a general of my Gorfiend clan. After the Gorfiend finished speaking, he instantly became quiet, and then he stopped moving, floating directly in the shattered void, staring at Xiao Yang. Feeling the huge and pure power of Long Yi and Xinyan, Xiao Yang couldn't help gasping for breath, then raised his head with some difficulty, and stared at the evil and contemptuous Gorfiend in front of him. The true king of the Gorfians is still too reluctant for me now. But this avatar should be fine. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, a strange hint of madness appeared on the corner of his mouth. To be on the safe side, let's call out that immortal body. Xiao Yang hesitated for a while, although he felt that the blood demon emissary in front of him had stopped his offensive and looked at himself as if he was looking at a lamb to be slaughtered. In order to prevent accidents, you still have to be careful. Immortal body, come out. Xiao Yang's mind moved, and he immediately summoned the immortal body that had been integrated into his body. Bang bang bang. The golden energy slowly wrapped Xiao Yang's entire body. At that time, a huge golden energy giant slowly appeared around Xiao Yang's body. With the appearance of the immortal body, Xiao Yang felt that every cell in his body was protected by a golden immortal power. This immortal power is as indestructible as if the eternal existence exists. The power of immortality invaded every cell and every piece of flesh and blood in Xiao Yang's body, making Xiao Yang feel that not only his strength had skyrocketed, but his body's defensive power had also greatly increased. This immortal body is really terrifying. Xiao Yang looked at the huge giant outside his body, and couldn't help but praise him contentedly. This terrifying immortal body, I am afraid that a 6-star Do Emperor perfect powerhouse will be difficult to defeat with a single blow. Is the body of a fighting emperor. Almost a lot of Do Di's cultivation has forgotten the body of Do Di, and very few people still use it. I didn't expect Xiao Yang to have such a terrifying Do Di. With such a terrifying body of a fighting emperor, I am afraid that among his peers, Xiao Yang is also looking for an enemy. Xinyan's body looked weakly at Xiao Yang, who was shrouded in rays of light. Detect it. What? How can this Do Digi have a smell that I am familiar with? Are there traces of holy flame? This Xiao Yang doesn't seem to be so simple. The next moment, Xinyan suddenly felt something from the immortal body, and said vigilantly, "It's time." After Xiao Yang finished all this, he just calmed down and condensed the whole body strength of Xinyan and Long Yi into 2 energy light groups, which slowly floated in front of Xiao Yang. The strength of these two, if they were to deal with the Gore-fiend left guard just now, would still have the power to fight, but it seems a little insufficient against this Gore-fiend. The corner of Xiao Yang's mouth raised slightly. The next moment, the power of the strange fire in Xiao Yang's body instantly emerged at that time. 3 groups of energy beams with different energies appeared in front of Xiao Yang. Human, you have been planted with blood demon gold energy. Even if I don't kill you now, you will be assimilated by my blood demon gold energy in the future, so how about surrendering to me? A rather strange voice came from the illusory black energy of the Gore-fiend. Obviously, although this Gore-fiend is only a clone, he is quite good at seducing people's hearts and subduing his subordinates. Such a temptation is clearly because the blood demon made the energy clone feel the terrifying power in Xiao Yang's body, although it's not to be afraid of, but if a seedling of this level submits to their Gore-fiend clan, and cultivates them well in the future, they will surely become a powerhouse that surpasses the Gore-fiend left guard. This is the intention of the Gore-fiend's energy clone who has been reluctant to do it. Submit to you? I'll consider it. Xiao Yang suddenly laughed. Ha ha ha. Come on, submit to the embrace of my Gore-fiends, and let's hunt down the living creatures together. The Gore-fiend's eerie voice resounded throughout the shattered void. However, compared to your alien race, I still prefer us here. So, go to hell. Xiao Yang's smile gradually disappeared, replaced by a burst of madness. Go. With a full push of the palm, the 3 groups of forces instantly merged, and a destructive wave slowly appeared. Susu. In the face of such a terrifying attack, the Gore-fiend's figure, surrounded by black energy, instantly shook, and then a power instantly emerged. It's just that with the battle between the two, the 9 major tribes of the Medusa clan also discovered, and even in the quiet Medusa temple, there were some uneasy voices. This video will end here.